What if I told you the most secretive place in America isn't hiding aliens, but something far more unsettling? Not creatures from another planet, not flying saucers locked in underground vaults, but real experiments, real technology, and real decisions that quietly shaped the modern world without anyone ever knowing. Because the truth about Area 51 isn't what you've seen in movies. It's stranger than fiction, and it was never meant to be told. Welcome to AM Story Archives.
Some stories were never meant to be found. Some truths were buried for a reason.
The Nevada desert doesn't look like much at first. Endless dry land, cracked earth, a horizon that seems to stretch forever under a blinding sun. No cities, no crowds, just silence. But somewhere inside that silence, hidden behind mountains and restricted airspace, lies one of the most guarded locations on Earth, Area 51. Officially, it didn't even exist for decades. No maps, no acknowledgement, no explanation. If you asked the government, you'd get nothing. If you got too close, you'd meet armed patrols long before you saw anything real. And yet, for over 70 years, people have tried to answer one question: what is really happening there? The story doesn't begin with aliens. It begins with fear. In the 1950s, during the height of the Cold War, the United States was desperate. The Soviet Union had nuclear weapons, and no one knew how strong they really were. Intelligence was limited, satellites didn't exist yet, and sending spies into enemy territory almost impossible. America needed eyes in the sky. That's when the idea was born, to build an aircraft that could fly higher than anything else ever created, so high it would be invisible to enemy defenses. But there was a problem. That project needed absolute secrecy, not just classified, hidden. So the government chose a remote location in Nevada, a dry lake bed called Groom Lake. Isolated, silent, perfect. That place would later become known as Area 51. The first major project tested there was the U-2 spy plane. At the time, it sounded impossible. A plane flying at over 70,000 feet, above commercial airliners, above most radar systems. Even the engineers weren't sure it would work. But it did. And when it did, something unexpected happened. Pilots flying commercial routes began reporting strange objects in the sky. Bright, fast-moving lights, far above them, too high to be normal aircraft. People on the ground saw them too. Suddenly, rumors began spreading. Unidentified flying objects, flying saucers. The government had a choice: tell the truth or let the mystery grow. They chose the mystery. Because admitting the existence of the U-2 would expose a critical advantage over the Soviet Union. So instead, they stayed silent. And just like that, the legend of UFOs began to grow. But that was only the beginning. As the years passed, Area 51 became a testing ground for technologies so advanced they didn't seem real. Stealth aircraft, hypersonic flight, experimental propulsion systems, each project more secret than the last. One of the most famous was the A-12 Ox Cart, a sleek black aircraft designed to outrun missiles and radar alike. It could fly at speeds over Mach 3. At those speeds, the metal skin of the plane would heat up so much it would expand mid-flight. Fuel would leak from the seams while it sat on the ground, only sealing once the aircraft reached extreme temperatures in the sky. It sounded like science fiction, but it was real, and it was tested at Area 51. Still, The rumors didn't stop. If anything, they grew stronger, because the more secretive the base became, the more people believed something impossible was being hidden. Stories started circulating: crash sites, recovered spacecraft, alien bodies. Whistleblowers began to emerge, some credible, others not, claiming they had seen things inside Area 51 that defied explanation. One of the most famous figures was a man named Bob Lazar. In the late 1980s, he claimed he had worked at a secret facility near Area 51 called S4. According to him, the government wasn't just testing aircraft. They were reverse engineering alien technology. He described flying discs powered by an unknown element, a propulsion system that bent gravity itself. His story was detailed, specific, and impossible to fully prove or completely disprove. To this day, people still debate whether he was telling the truth or something far more complicated. But here's where things get unsettling. Even if you remove the alien theories, what remains is still deeply strange. Because Area 51 wasn't just about defense, it was about pushing the limits of what humans could create, without oversight, without public knowledge, and without accountability. Test pilots risked their lives flying experimental machines that had never been proven safe. Some didn't make it back. Workers were exposed to unknown chemicals and materials, often without being told what they were handling. For years, many suffered serious health problems. But when they tried to seek answers, they were denied, because officially, they were never there. Imagine working somewhere that doesn't exist. Imagine getting sick from something you can't name and being told it never happened. Then there's the airspace. The air above Area 51 is one of the most restricted in the world. Unauthorized aircraft that get too close are intercepted immediately. Even trained pilots avoid it, because crossing that invisible boundary isn't just illegal, it's dangerous. And on the ground, security is just as intense. Unmarked vehicles patrol the perimeter. Cameras track movement from miles away. Warning signs are posted across the desert, clear, direct, and impossible to ignore. Use of deadly force authorized. No explanations, no second chances. So why all the secrecy? Why maintain such extreme protection for decades? The simple answer is technology. Many of the innovations developed at Area 51 eventually shaped the modern world. Stealth technology used in military aircraft, advanced radar systems, surveillance tools. Some experts believe that even certain aspects of modern aviation and aerospace engineering trace their roots back to experiments conducted there. But here's the part most people don't think about. If we know about these technologies now, what are they testing there today? Because Area 51 didn't stop evolving. It didn't freeze in time. It kept going, quietly, out of sight. Satellite images today show a massive complex, runways stretching for miles, new buildings appearing over time, infrastructure expanding but never explained. No official tours, no public documentation, just silence and speculation. Over the years, the U.S. government has slowly acknowledged Area 51's existence, but only partially. In 2013, documents were declassified confirming what many already suspected. The base was real, and it was used for experimental aircraft. But even then, details were limited, carefully controlled. Because acknowledging the past is one thing, revealing the present is something else entirely. And that's where the mystery truly lives. Not in alien autopsies or crashed saucers, but in the unknown, in the gap between what we're told and what we're not. Because history shows us something important. The wildest rumors about Area 51 didn't come from nowhere. They came from glimpses, from sightings, from moments when something appeared in the sky that no one could explain. And instead of clarity, people were given silence. So what really happened at Area 51? The truth is layered. Part of it is real documented history, the development of aircraft that changed warfare and surveillance forever. Part of it is human imagination, filling in the gaps left by secrecy. And part of it remains hidden. Maybe not because it's extraterrestrial, but because it's powerful. Because the most dangerous secrets aren't always the ones about other worlds. Sometimes they're about what we're capable of building in this one. Technology that arrives decades before the public ever sees it. Decisions made in isolation that affect millions without them knowing. Experiments conducted in silence with consequences that echo far beyond the desert. Area 51 isn't just a place, it's a symbol of how much can be hidden in plain sight, of how easily truth can be blurred when secrecy becomes routine, and of how curiosity, human curiosity, never really goes away. Because even now, people still drive out to the Nevada desert. They stand at the edge of the restricted zone. They look out across the empty land, and they wait, hoping to catch a glimpse of something, anything. A light in the sky, a shape moving too fast, a moment that doesn't make sense. Because deep down, everyone feels it, that something is there, something real, and maybe that's the point. Not to confirm the mystery, not to deny it, but to keep it alive. Because as long as people keep asking questions, the story of Area 51 never truly ends. And whatever is happening there right now, you're not supposed to know. Not yet.